Good morning, everybody. It's like, I don't even know what time it is. 3:14 in the morning. Just getting ready to go to bed. I use my holy water. And, hold on, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And even under the bed, and on the bed. Okay. I put holy water in all four corners of the room, saying in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and then under the bed and on the bed. This is one of the many things that I do, along with, having my room looking like a church here. Tried the best I can to keep the evil one and the night terrors away. Sometimes they still find their way in. But, what is that? I want to know. I'm going to bed soon. I'm just, well, anyway, thanks for joining me in my bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning. So, what do I want to say? Alright, so I put a lot of, I'm a Catholic, obviously a devout Catholic, right? And still a Christian. But some people wonder why I have so many, I put so many different Protestant preachers and stuff on my page. Well, because they're still brothers and sisters in Christ, and also a lot of them are prophets, right? Some of them are probably false prophets, because there's a lot of false prophets in the world, so we gotta be careful. But I'm trying to be more positive, okay? A lot of people always complain that I'm too negative, too gloom and doom, end of the world all the time. So I share other content from other Christians around the world on my page as well, although it is a Catholic Facebook page. Some of them are Orthodox, some of them are from Australia, some of them are from India, wherever, right? We're all one body in Christ, and we need to be united. United we stand, divided we fall. We all have one thing in common, which is the Lord Jesus Christ in these end times. And, what I wanted to say is, I personally don't see how God's going to put up with what's going on in this world much longer, okay? I really feel like stuff's about to hit the fan any minute. I know we're in the last days of the end times here. But there seems to be all of a sudden, and I don't know why, but a lot of preachers, especially in 2024, all of a sudden making all these prophecies all of a sudden of the exact opposite. Things are going to get better. There's going to be amazing revivals, amazing turnaround. God's going to spare New York. He's going to do wonderful things in New York City. He's going to save the day. He's going to, bless us all, and all these great things are coming, and this and that. And so, I try to be positive and open to whatever the Lord wants to do. But anything I've witnessed in my life and anything believe I've gotten from the Lord has not been positive, unfortunately. It's warning after warning of, bad things coming. And so, I don't know if there's just a rise in false prophets and false preachers all of a sudden the past year or so that are all coming out of the woodwork saying all these great things are going to manifest in 2024. But, it's kind of funny because they're all Protestant. All the Protestants are preaching all these great, wonderful things, revivals, and God's going to bless everybody, and this is going to happen, and God's going to save New York City and do something marvelous. And so I post them on my page too, just in case. It could go either way. It's up to God to decide. I know a lot of us pray all the time, and so maybe the Lord is giving us more time. Maybe the Lord is being merciful. But I don't think so. I'm hoping for the best, but planning for the worst. And what I just saw, okay, take place at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City, there's no way, and forgive my language, in hell that God is going to be blessing the Catholic Church and blessing New York City. It was like the Rocky Horror Picture Show in St. Patrick's Cathedral a couple days ago, because some trans or drag queen, Cecilia Genitili, which is supposed to sound like genitalia or whatever, died after pretty much mocking everything God stands for last year or the year before, getting an award for all her hard work, helping sex workers in New York be free, and helping trans people, and helping all this abomination. So she dies, or he dies, because it's a man in a dress. Hideous, foul-mouthed, disgusting, as most of them are. And they had all of St. Patrick's Cathedral having this huge celebrity. You thought Princess Diana had died. It was a drag queen, okay? And all these people dressed in drag, and the most outlandish homosexuals and most flamboyant people talking, giving eulogies and this and that. And the priest, I don't know if he had no choice. Maybe he was scared because there's like thousands and thousands of these people in his church. So what can he do? What can he say? He doesn't want to riot, because they will riot if you say something wrong. It would have been a catastrophe. He probably would have been killed. So you can tell the priest was kind of like, wasn't too happy with what was going on, but he had no control. They started, I posted these videos on here, if you don't want to believe. Somebody passed it along to me, and I was just appalled. Okay? These people are disgusting, okay? And these priests, I don't know, I guess they can't not allow these people in there for a huge funeral. But the whole thing was an abomination. They're saying that this woman, which is a man, is a saint of our day. And the priest is saying this and calling her a woman instead of a man, because he knew that they'd probably kill him if he offended him. I remember a drag queen got angry at me one time and threw a drink in my face and slapped the crap out of me in public because I said sir or whatever. He was a man in a dress, and he got so offended that he assaulted me and got away with it because I offended him. And I'm like, oh, you are so lucky I'm a Christian, because I would bust your face any other time you pull that. Plus I was outnumbered. There was a lot of big angry drag queens. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? You are so lucky that didn't just happen one-on-one, because I'd kick you in the nuts so fast and knock your teeth out. Look like Wesley Snipes and freaking Tu Wong Fu. Anyway, I'm getting sick of it now. It's disgusting. And it's getting so bad, and I don't understand why there's so many people, so many Christians, claiming 2024 is going to be an amazing year for Christians. Amazing year for America. What are you talking about? Somebody's false here. Because there's no way God is going to bless this nation or this world anymore the way it's going. Maybe his people, his faithful servants, but not these people who do everything contrary to Jesus. Look, Jesus died on the cross because of this garbage. And these people are just, oh man, I don't know. I can't. It's so far gone at this point, this world. It gets me so angry that I want God to destroy this whole place like Sodom and Gomorrah. We deserve it. I pray that he protects his people, but gets rid of this filth. Get rid of them. I mean, obviously the jab didn't do its job, because they're still all alive. Like, if it really did its job, they should have gone after certain kinds of people. I know that sounds terrible, but I wish the wicked had all received the jab and dropped dead, because it's disgusting. Like, I believe in repentance and giving everybody a chance, but what I'm seeing, you know what really gets me mad? This went on in St. Patrick's Cathedral, and they were screaming and yelling and chanting this drag queen's name as if they were some kind of a hero. And they were doing it purposely because the Christians there could do nothing about it, with thousands and thousands of LGBTQ and drag queens and trans, the most wicked people, all in one church building. I mean, if we tried to stop them, it would have all been all out rioting. It would have been a horrible thing. And so the priests and the deacons and the choir people and the people who had to do, they're messing with my video again now, every time I'm talking about something important. So the priests, that they had to, just for the sake of peace, but it's not setting a good example. You are not supposed to talk in church, in a Catholic church. Jesus Christ is there in the tabernacle. You are supposed to have a holy silence, fear, and reverence. We genuflect when we come in. We genuflect when we sit down. We genuflect when we're leaving. And then we genuflect on the way out the door. You are acknowledging that you're coming into the palace, the building of the Most High, the house of the Most High, okay, of God, okay, and you respect Him. And instead, these filthy LGBTQ people were so loud and obnoxious and turned it into, they were dancing around like in Sodom and Gomorrah, and they turned this beautiful cathedral into a gay nightclub, okay, in broad daylight, during a funeral for one of their own, claiming that this person's a saint and in heaven with the saints, and that he's, the ignorance, it gets me so angry, and I want to cry. Maybe, you know what, it's a good thing I didn't become a priest, because I am not going to be forced to marry these people, to let them into the church behaving that way. I mean, this has got to stop. They did it purposely to basically mock us, like mock Christianity, to take over and change. And the priests they keep messing with my video now. It keeps freezing on me. But anyway, my God, have mercy on us. I don't even know. I don't know what to say anymore. I've been so depressed and discouraged lately for so many reasons. I can't get my family to make peace. I can't get them to the Lord. I pray and pray and pray and worry for them. I miss them. I worry for their souls. Again, they keep freezing my video, so bear with me. I'm not where I need to be as a Christian lately. I'm just so bogged down with depression and despair, stagnancy. Like, I know that my ministry, if you want to call it that, has reached many people, and I get a lot. I just got another really long letter via email from some people down south who, saw my Church Militant episode and are still writing me letters and, sending me cards and telling me, how what I said to them, we talk on the phone once in a while, and how they're doing a lot of great things for the poor, the needy now, because I guess I kind of put the fear of hell in them with last conversation over the phone last year. Just being me. I don't know. Just because I'm leading a lot of people to Jesus doesn't mean that I'm going to get to heaven myself. Because I could be disqualified, for a lot of reasons. So I got to work on stuff. But I'm just saying, I don't know. We're going to find out soon, that I just don't see how God's going to not punish this, and it scares me. Because He's going to end up punishing the whole Catholic Church and the nation for all of this. And He said in the book of the Bible that, the good would perish with the bad. The good would go to heaven if they were worthy. The bad would go to hell. But, He's not a respecter of persons. So, this is why I'm up all night long, because I have all this in my mind and there's nothing I can do. I'm surrounded by 8 billion idiots down here, all hellbound, getting worse by the day. The wickedness is getting so disgusting and out of hand. More and more and more things are coming out of the woodwork. Ukraine now, the Soviets just found a prison or a farm for raising babies to be sex trafficked. It's disgusting. How satanic that you see children. How do you see children as a sexual thing? That is so disgusting. That's such an illness to be a pedophile, and there's so many of them out there. It's like, forget the rise in homosexuals. Now it's a rise in something way more wicked. Satanic pedophilia. I mean, children it's always been a problem, but I mean, not like this. Mainstream, where all the politicians and wealthy and the elite and the rich and the famous are all raping children, boys and girls, and then killing them and drinking their blood. And now we're harvesting them, and they've got ranches full of sex trafficked children in all these countries. And oh man, God is not happy, and I'm telling you, there's no way he's not going to destroy us. When you touch little children, those are God's beloved. They're innocent and pure, and you're defiling them. He said never. He said it would be better for someone to have a millstone tied around their neck and be thrown into the sea than to ever touch a little child. And this is getting out of hand. And, just everything's getting out of hand to such an alarming, where the whole world is so far from God, so wicked, so vile. This is why they're going to one day they're just going to turn against all Christians. We're all going to be in trouble, running for our lives. And this isn't just going to be us getting stoned to death or decapitated by Muslims no, we have very, very immoral, unethical, vile human beings, millions and billions of them, that are literally satanic, okay? They've given into such depravity that they're going to be raping and murdering us, just God knows what. If this the whole world's going LGBTQ, trans, crazy, Satanist, pedophile. They're going to come after the light. They're going to come after us. There's going to be a huge persecution coming against Christians. And all of our world leaders are these people, these wicked, disgusting perverts. All of our governments are run by them. I mean, it is literally hell on earth. It's almost like demons have just taken over human bodies, and they're just... The things that go on in hell are going to be going on, or have always gone on earth as well, but it's going to be worse. It's going to be to I just know it. I know it. And so I want to know why I'm seeing such a major contradiction between sides here in the church. You got all these Christians, whether they just bury their head in the sand and they just want to pretend the glass is half full, and let's just be positive, and so you're just disregarding what... Do you not see? Are you blind? How can you be a real Christian and know Jesus and not see all the evil that is getting worse by the day in this world? How can you just be joy-filled and happy and, yes, Jesus loved me, everything's going to be great, God's going to give us a prosperous new year, this is going to be the best year? What are you talking about? The best year for who? Satan? How do you see? I don't see how... There's this guy, I keep posting him on my page now, because I'm trying to be more positive, and I hope he's right. But on one hand, I'm getting all these prophecies from Catholic prophets and stuff, and seers saying that New York's going to be destroyed, and New England, and California, and all this stuff. God is upset with America. We're about to be bombed. There's going to be 3 days of darkness. There's going to be war. There's going to be invasion. All this stuff as punishment for what we're doing. our ungodliness. And then you got this other breed of Christian prophets coming out of the woodwork all of a sudden, where, God's telling me to have a revival in every state, and God's going to bless New York. He's going to do a major turnaround. Why would God bless New York City? The hub, the epicenter of filth. New York, LA, Las Vegas, New Orleans. I mean, these places are Seattle. These places are hubs they're like all Sodom and Gomorrah. There's so many of them in America. And now with the borders down and just everything that's going on, there's so much stuff. I see the Great Tribulation happening all around us, getting worse by the day. And everyone's like, stop, Steve. Stop being so gloom and doom. We don't know yet. Think positive. God might turn it around. And it's like, do you know God? People in the Old Testament used to be struck dead for the littlest thing. Then Jesus in the New Testament church came into play, and God is giving us a time of mercy through his Son. But that's coming to an end. So I'm getting really aggravated and confused and depressed here because I'm every day I'm hearing. I know what I feel and see, what God's showing me, and it's not good. And then there's all these other Christians who are making me constantly second guess and question and get confused, saying, oh no, God told me there was going to be revival, and God told me everything's going to be prosperous, and God's going to give you a new home, and this is going to happen, and New York City's going to be blessed, and Washington's going to be blessed, and America's going to be favored and blessed, and what are you talking about? Why? God doesn't bless sin. And this isn't just sin, this is abomination. America needs to be wiped off the map, according to God. It's one giant Sodom and Gomorrah. The whole planet is filthy now. We are Mystery Babylon the Great, the harlot that sits on many oceans. People keep saying, that's Rome. It's not Rome. It's not Rome. America, if you look at the continent of the United States, we're surrounded by different oceans. The North Atlantic, the South Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico. Then you got the Pacific Ocean. It's surrounded by all this water. Okay? We started all this bad stuff here in America. Prostitution, pornography, and it's spread everywhere. Gay marriage, and it's spread across the globe. Gay everything, spread across the globe. Abortion started here, spread across the globe. Everything we do here, it's like a poison that spreads. If it happens in America, it soon happens everywhere. And you really think that God is going to bless America? And then people say, it's got to be Rome because Rome wears scarlet. It says scarlet, which is a form of red blood or wine. Okay, and they wear scarlet and purple. The American flag. Okay, did you know that it's called the Scarlet Banner? Okay, and the red symbolizes blood. Okay, and scarlet. Okay, and originally it wasn't navy blue, but it was purple. What do you get when you mix? What are the two colors you get to make purple? Okay, our American flag is technically scarlet and purple and white, and the stars. Okay, 5-pointed stars, which have always been satanic in nature, pentagram. We use them all the time in America. Okay, every state has a white star, a 5-pointed star. Which reminds me of that dream I had. There was one missile that was all white with a big red dot. The next one was all red with a yellow 5-pointed star and a yellow crescent moon. It was Iran. And then the third missile was all black with a big white 5-pointed star, and then it turned into multiple stars all over it. So that could be America going to war with Iran. I thought we already dealt with Japan, though. I don't know. I'll have to see. I hope that dream doesn't come to pass, because we're going to get nuked in that dream. I keep seeing America getting nuked in my dreams. And so it's been going on for over 10 years. And I keep seeing Obama being the Antichrist. So if he's not, I'm going to be very surprised. Because I keep seeing him, literally turn into the devil in my dreams after trying to proposition me into working for him and all this garbage, telling me I have to, and he's going to make, I don't have a choice, and blah, 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 whatever. And it's just all these crazy things. And so, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this year progresses. I think we have a lot of bad stuff that's going to come out of the woodwork, like a blind side. It's like wars and another pandemic and the cashless society. And I know that the elite are trying to keep us guessing so that we don't see it coming. I think it's going to be the Great Tribulation is going to be so many things going on. That's why it's called the Great Tribulation. Because everywhere you look, there's going to be tribulation and trials and troubles. It's going to be so much that men's hearts will fail them for things that are coming on this earth. Now, I'm hearing that there's going to be the warning before the 3 days of darkness or whatever. Some people are saying the 3 days of darkness, then the warning. Some people say the 3 days of darkness is more metaphoric than actual. I don't know. I hope it is. But, remember, God said that a year to him is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day to him. A year to him is like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years to God, or whatever. No, a day is like a day is like 1,000 years to God, and 1,000 years like a day. And so, who knows? The 3 days of darkness could have been the past 3,000 years for all I know. But I do believe it's something that's going to happen. Sorry, I'm just rambling on. I'm very tired. It's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm making this video. I don't know. I keep freezing my video. I just got a lot on my mind. This is why I can't sleep at night. I'm very troubled about so many things. We're running out of time. And then it's like, the Protestants are at it again, because the Protestants are always, kumbaya, everything's great, joy of the Lord. They're always trying to be so positive. And that's great, but, it's pouring into the Catholic Church now too. And it's like, have you all just given up? Have you gotten to the point where you're so overwhelmed that you're just burying your head in the sand and pretending everything's great? Because it's not great. Like, things are getting worse literally by the day. We don't have cable or TV here in this house, but when I'm at work, my client's always watching it, and the news is just worse by the day. More and more murders and shootings, and it's just everything. The world is getting so much worse by the day. I literally just want to get away from society. Like, I want to live on an island by myself and get away from people. I don't want to be here when God pours out his wrath. I know what's coming, and I don't want to go down with the ship. I'd rather live in the mountains somewhere or in another country, get out of America, and not be here for what's coming. I gotta say, I'm not trying to be un-American. I mean, but this country deserves God's wrath. We all do. And then I look at myself and I'm like, I try not to be a hypocrite, because whenever I sin, no matter what it is, to God, sin is sin. Some are worse than others, but I'm gonna be counted as a child of the devil, or one of the wicked also, if he returns right now, or if, he pours out his vengeance. So it's not easy to be holy. It's easy to preach, but it's not easy to practice. If I'm not falling in one way, like anger or judgment, then it's impurity or thoughts of impurity, or using foul language or impatience. I mean, every day I'm messing up, and I'm like, I can't, this is so hard. Like, look at all these books, okay? I have so many books everywhere, and I on the saints, and, I do a lot of reading and stuff, and I can't be like these people. Like, I am so far from a saint, according to all these saints. That's why few make it to heaven. And I'm like, Lord, I'm getting discouraged. Like, I am not Padre Pio. I am not Mother Teresa. I try to be. I can relate to them in some ways. I understand. But if this is how I have to be to get to heaven, there's no way I'm going to make it. And I'm getting so depressed and discouraged. There's all this noise going on outside. Anyway, I don't know. I just feel bad things are coming. I know I don't mean to be a prophet of gloom and doom all the time. I'm not a prophet. I don't mean to always be negative. I see what goes on, and I know God, and I can't imagine Him putting. So I'm trying to be more positive, and I'm trying to put more uplifting, edifying, happy, joyful things on my page for everyone. Because everybody keeps saying, Steve, you're always glass half empty, shattered on the floor. Can't you ever just be positive? I'm like, yes, but I don't see how. I'm not going to fake it, Like, I don't see good coming. I really don't. I want it to be. I want to have hope. I want to have peace and joy. I want God to give us more time. But I know my sins, and I deserve hell. And then I look at how bad other people are getting, and I'm like, my God. Okay, I don't know if it's a hacker or what, but they're constantly freezing my video. It's so annoying. I know that they're listening to everything we say. Everything I say, I end up getting a ton of spam in my mail about every topic I mention. Even when I'm just having a private conversation in another room, my phone doesn't even have to be with me. And if I talk about windows, next thing you know, I'm getting all these window replacement ads. Talk about resumes and jobs or a specific kind of career, and then all of a sudden I'm getting all these job listings for that one. Okay, they did it again. That's 10 times since I started this broadcast. I wish the people messing with my phone and my broadcast would just drop dead. Because obviously you're nothing but a piece of garbage from hell. Honestly, I know that's not very Christian, but if all you do is make people's lives miserable and try to thwart my videos when I'm trying to be a Christian here, then you're obviously on the evil one's team and you deserve what you get. I'm getting fed up with people. God help me, because love is what conquers evil, and I haven't been very loving lately, people. I'm having trouble loving the wicked. I hate sin. I hate my own sin. And for people to bask in their sin and run around being proud of every filthy abomination that they commit, and being proud to be ungodly, and being proud to go to hell, it makes me sick. I can't stand this planet anymore. It's the people that are ruining it. They're all gone evil. Just so many people. Let me just explain something to you. For example, on YouTube, I watched this girl named Jonah Jinton. She's from Sweden, okay? And she lives out in the woods in Sweden, and she makes paintings and portraits and whatever, right? And she's got the life, and I love her videos and her vlogs. I've been watching her for many years. But I keep messaging her, saying, hey, that's great that you're living the dream and this and that, but you never go to church. You're into all this pagan stuff, believing in the universe and energies and all this stuff. You're not believing in Jesus Christ. Your life is in vain. You can do all this to glorify God, but instead you're just living for yourself. There's no church out there. That's why I don't live in the wilderness in Sweden. I'd love to. But I got to get to Catholic church every week. And there's no churches where these people live out in the woods. And so they make all these blogs, and it's beautiful how beautiful the snow is and the nature. And that's great if you want to start your own business and become rich on being an artist and this and that. But you're not living for God. So you're going to go to hell. And so anyway, I reached out to her a couple times, but I got no response. I left some comments publicly, about under a lot of these vloggers, these YouTube vloggers. I'll leave I love watching your videos. They're great, but how come you never mention Jesus? How come you never go to church? How come, I could never live like that? because I have to go to church, and, there's no churches where you guys are, and so don't you worry about that, and, stuff like that, and nobody responds. Well, anyway, Jonah had referred everyone to this elderly woman. I forgot her name, but I follow her now too. And this woman out in like Utah, and she's in her 70s, and she plays music and pianos, and she's a really nice soul, a nice person. But she's one of those New Agers too, where you can tell she just doesn't believe in God. Well, anyway, everybody's leaving all these comments, brown-nosing her and puffing her up, right? And I left one, but I said, you know what, so-and-so, I forgot her name. I said, listen, I said, you're very talented, and Jesus has given you all these great talents to share with us, to glorify Him. You are truly blessed by God. Keep being you. And, I was glorifying Jesus through the public comment, right? No one. Okay, there's throughout this whole comment thread under this video, you see my comment towards the top, and you see every other comment that people left this woman, which were also edifying her, encouraging her, right? Building her up. Positive comments people were leaving, just like mine. But because I mentioned Jesus in my public comment, not one person liked my comment. But all the comments above and below have like 83 likes, 100 likes, 200 likes, and they're all saying the same things, making this woman feel nice, saying nice things to her, encouraging her to keep going with her music, and, how talented she is, and how much we love her, and this and that. Not one like on any of my comments that mentioned Jesus. It makes me sick. When I saw that, how do you think God feels at this point? Where the very name of Jesus being mentioned publicly, even in a comment, even in a wonderful way, like saying, hey, God created you, you're a beautiful person, He really blessed you with a lot of talents, thanks be to God for you and your talents and this and that, and nobody even clicked like or anything on it. Now, I'm not doing that so that they'll do that for me, but for Him. Somebody. So in other words, all the people that follow these two particular women, Jonah Jinton and this other woman, this elderly woman, none of them are Christians. None of them love the Lord or fear the Lord. These people attract a certain kind of people. And it makes me worry that, well, wait, I watch and share their videos. I like watching them because there's just something about them. They're cozy. I like to see, for the same reason people watch my videos. I'm a vlogger, I guess. And some people like to see, look, you're in my bedroom right now at 3-something in the morning. It doesn't get any more personal than that. I'm in my pajamas, these are not boxers, by the way. They're gym shorts, okay? But I'm just saying, I'm getting ready for bed, and I'm just making a video to, be real here, and, with whoever wants to watch this. And most people wouldn't do this. I look like crap right now. I'm tired. I'm in my pajamas. I'm in bed. But I'm just sharing my life. Look, this is me in bed. This is my everyday life, okay? I gotta go up, get up. Got a very busy day again tomorrow. Go back to work. I got appointments. I got a lot of stuff to do. So this is my downtime where it's quiet. And I can think, and I can pray, and I can make videos, and Donna's in bed. I think she's still sleeping on the couch. I can't get her to get up. She keeps falling asleep on the couch. So hopefully she and the dog ended up going to bed. But I don't know. I just wanted to make this video to clear my mind because I've got all these thoughts, and I'm just wondering what other people are thinking too. Are you noticing that, you got all these voices out there, and a lot of them are gloom and doom, and this is going to happen, and there's so many fake prophets out there. They keep giving dates. I saw all these videos February 14th, Valentine's Day, God's going to destroy this place, and God's going to do this, and blah, blah, and nothing happened. And it's okay, you got to stop giving dates. That's how you know that you're a false prophet. But they're still making videos. And then there's all these other people coming out of the woodwork now, and they are really, like, I feel like they're talking to me in specific. But I'm sure everybody who's watching them is feeling this directly for them, you know. Oh, that's for message. You're talking about me. You're talking about me, you know. So it's like wishful thinking, you know. So just in case, I like to try to put some positivity into my own heart and mind as well, and I post them on my page, you know, things that relate to me. Like if there's a preacher who's talking about, or a prophet talking about exactly how I feel or what I'm going through, I'll share it on my page. But it doesn't mean he's not a false prophet. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, look, all I know is I keep getting all these really awesome prophecies from so many prophets. And it's been years and nothing's come to pass. And I'm like, okay, so now I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, it's not that I doubt, because I know God can do all things, but I'm doubting the sources because I feel like they're just wasting my time, and I'm not making any moves on my own because I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and, you know, and I, on the other hand, like, I know that I can't do a lot of the stuff that people are saying I can do because of my health, because of my finances, whatever. With God, all things are possible, but it's just unlikely, you know, it's unlikely. So I'm starting to lose faith in a lot of people who claim all these prophets. For example, Philip George Cornerstone, I talked to him personally about a job thing that, you know, somebody had found me online. The government supposedly found me online on monsterlot.com and were so impressed with my resume that they wanted to offer me 2 different Secret Service jobs, right? And I'm like, Secret Service is like way above, like that's like on the same level as FBI or a little bit above the that's like CIA stuff, right? But it's like Secret Service, right? And I am qualified in many ways, but I also never went to college. Well, anyway, they keep telling me to apply. So I go to apply, and it says the cutoff is 37. I'm 44. It also said you have to have good health. You have to go through like basic training and all this stuff. I can't do that I need a surgery on my neck and my back really bad, and the doctors are screwing me over. They canceled the rest of my MRIs and stuff because of insurance issues, and now they're not even answering my calls, and I was supposed to have a couple surgeries already by now, going back to January, and they told me this. They said that I'm in real bad shape. I need surgeries right away. I could be paralyzed. I could die. And then all of a sudden, they do the spinal tap and stuff, and then the results came back really, really bad, and I need surgery right away, and then nothing. They just drop me. And I keep calling, and they're not answering, they're not getting back to me. So, I think that because they're not going to get paid much, because I have Husky insurance, you know, state insurance, Husky D, they're not going to do the surgeries for me. So basically, I'm going to be, I could die. Like, I can just get paralyzed. I can die. The rest of my life without these surgeries, I'm so delicate. My doctor said, why don't you just go on disability? You have so many problems. You just go on disability. How do you even go to work every day the way you are? And I'm like, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You have no idea what I have to deal with. Sometimes I can't even use my hands. Like, you have no idea how bad it is. It's scary. And he said, well, then just go on disability. I'm like, I'm not going on disability. You need to fix me. Like, these surgeries can fix it. The other 2 surgeries fixed it before. Now I need the bar put in the back of my neck, and I'll be a lot better. So you're letting me sever my spinal cord. Why don't you just fix it? This is medical malpractice. It's evil. I really feel like it's being done intentionally. Like I'm being targeted by Yale. Because it's just weird. They keep screwing me over like this and pushing things off and rescheduling for months down the line. And, this is an emergency. And so I'm just like, I'm in God's hands now. I'm like, Lord, please don't let me be paralyzed. Please don't let me die. I have to work. Like, Donna can't support me. She shouldn't have to. I'm supposed to be helping her around here financially. I don't have family or friends or anyone to help me or take care of me. I don't have a wife or kids. I don't have more than $3 in my bank account right now after, until I get paid. I don't make enough to survive. I can't even buy groceries. I work and work and work and work a lot of times for free. I also do ministry and stuff for free. Now I understand why a lot of people charge money for ministry, but I don't want to do that. Freely I've been given, freely give. Jesus didn't charge money to heal people and pray for people and teach people how to get to heaven. So I don't believe in making a career out of it. The gospel is something that should not be charged for. You shouldn't charge people to preach or evangelize. He's trying to save souls here. So I'm trying to do all this stuff, and I just don't feel well most of the time. It's very hard. It's very hard. And then I see all these healthy people, they don't even bother doing what I do. And it's just like, it gets me so infuriated. I don't know. I'm just so tired. Tired of this planet. Tired of everything. I really am. And I'm just sick and tired of all these voices. And they all sound so legit. Oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And, this whole past couple weeks, all of a sudden, every prophet I've been watching has been saying that all these great things are coming, And I'm looking at the world and I'm looking at everything and I'm like, what do you mean great things? Why would God start handing out all these blessings, especially to America? He wouldn't, it just doesn't make sense. So all I know is God help us. We need to band together as Christians. Persecution's coming. We're in trouble, people. They're infiltrating our church at an alarming rate. They're amassing these gays and trans and just everybody who's anti-Christian, anti-Christ. They're amassing together. They're really growing by the million strong by the day. And these people are the ones that are pushing for abortion, for gay marriage, for drag queens, for transing our children, for pedophilia, for satanic temples to be erected. All these evil things. It's just pure concentrated evil and wickedness. I don't know. It's so bad. God, please come back soon. Alright, anyway, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I'm just wanting to vent before I go to sleep. Please pray for me. I pray for you, especially if you send me a prayer request. I'm getting so tired right now. I'm falling asleep here, so I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore. I'm just really concerned. This world is getting really, really bad, and it's really, really dangerous and hard for us Christians to live here in society. And where are we supposed to go, For every Christian, there's 100 heathens. It's that bad. And people are losing their faith. I'm seeing a lot of people and priests and nuns, losing their faith and not fearing God anymore, respecting God. I'm seeing abominable things and heresy happening in the churches during Mass. It's everywhere. It's so bad. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare, one of those dreams where you just want to wake up and you can't. Like that. I keep thinking this is a nightmare. It's got to be a dream. It's really not that bad. It's really not happening. But it is happening. And we live here in it. And, oh, God help us. Listen, people, please unite. Christians, we have to start uniting and fellowshipping and banding together. We're going to need each other soon. We're going to have to go underground and have services underground and church masses underground soon. They're coming for us. They are. We're outnumbered, and they're coming for us. And, the devil's using Islam, and he's using the homosexual community to war against us. And we are outnumbered. The traditional Catholics and true Christians, there's less of us than there are of them. The godless, and their hate. By the day, I'm noticing a hatred for Christianity, a hatred for us. That's even in the grocery stores, wherever I go, if I say God bless you, or if they see my cross on me or whatever, I get more dirty looks from people. It's just, it's horrible. So, it's coming. I don't know. I don't want to scare people or be a bearer of bad news, but from what I see, things are getting worse real fast. And so I don't understand all these prophets and preachers claiming that all this good stuff is coming. Our only good is going to be in heaven if we make it there, you know? But I don't see how anything good is going to happen down here. I mean, do I even want to get married anymore in this world? Do I want to be a priest anymore in this world? Do I want to... I don't know. Why would I want money and fame and great career or anything in this world, in this society the way it is? You know, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So I'm really nervous. I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to do? Just please make it clear to me. What do you want me to do with my life so I don't miss my opportunity to serve, you know, and end up in hell? I don't want to go and be a Secret Service agent, for example, if that's not what God wants. I'm not going to... Hold on, I need something to drink here. I usually go through almost a half gallon to a gallon a night. I'm up every night drinking because my neck, the spinal cord causes whatever, the salivary glands and the tear ducts in my eyes to go dry. So I'm always dry-eyed and really dry mouth all the time, so I have to keep drinking. About a whole gallon throughout the night. Otherwise, I get very dehydrated, and my tongue literally sticks to the top of my mouth. I can't talk. And I hate when the phone rings in the morning, and before I can get it, water in my mouth. I'm like, hold on, and like, hello. I'm like, I can't talk because my mouth is dry all the time. I feel like I know what Jesus felt on the cross when they had to put the sponge in his mouth because his mouth was so dry. That's how I go through that. I go through the dry mouth that Jesus went through on the cross. I go through, I don't want to say it's invisible stigmata, but for years now, some people are saying it's neuropathy. I don't know. I get neuropathy too, where it feels like needles are being shoved into my toes, under the toenails, through my fingertips. It's painful, but for years and years now, I've been getting, it feels like somebody's hammering nails through my palms of my hands and through the soles of my feet. And it goes all the way through. Sometimes it's just one hand, sometimes it's both hands, sometimes it's both my feet and my hands. Sometimes it goes through my wrist or my ankles. And so I go through this painful out of nowhere. You never know when they're going to strike. Sometimes they last days of just like, feels like someone's shoving knives or spikes or large nails through my hands and feet or ankles and wrists. So I wonder sometimes, am I suffering from the invisible stigmata? I don't know. I think it's just because of my spinal cord. I'm getting all kinds of problems from my spinal cord. So it's probably the spinal cord, but man, it hurts. So I try to join my sufferings with the Lord, my sadness for the sins that are going on, my hatred for the evil and injustice and sin. You know, I'm alienated and often not, you know, they say a prophet's not respected in their own town or wanted in their own town. I'm not a prophet, but, you know, I go through that as well. I feel like an orphan. I feel like I'm all alone and misunderstood. I feel like it doesn't matter what I say. Nobody listens. Goes in one ear and out the other. People think I'm just a rambling crazy person. Man, this road to the cross is not easy. Not easy. But we have to endure. So every day, I try to offer up my sufferings for other souls and to glorify God and to alleviate the Lord's sufferings or to join his suffering on the cross. You know, there's an abundance of sufferings I go through. I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be in my life. You know, scared to leave here because if I were to leave here, I wouldn't be able to come back and I'd end up on the street if things didn't work out again. I'm scared to not try to get back into seminary because if that's what God really wants, but I'm also scared of what's going to happen to me again if I do go. I don't know what to do anymore. I literally just feel like every day I'm just surviving. It's the same old, never enough money, never enough time, never happy. Surely this isn't the life the Lord had in mind for me. I feel like there's something big I need to be doing for the Lord and for the world, and it's not happening. And it's been 44 years, and I've been told since I was in my 20s by many, many people in the church, and prophets and stuff that God had a huge, huge plan for me, big mission on my life. It's very important, and I have no idea what it could be, because I'm stuck in this mobile home, and I have no money, bad health, no family, no friends. I don't know what I'm supposed to do for the Lord like this, but I guess in His timing, I just hope that I haven't been disqualified. Like, how do you know that I haven't angered the Lord by sinning and He's decided to go with someone else? Like, that's weighing on my mind. I feel like all of a sudden I feel so cut off from God. I feel cut off from God, and like He's upset with me, and like whatever He had planned for me is a no-go now. Like, He's changed the mission, given the mission to someone else or something. I don't know. Because everything just seems stagnant and wrong. And I feel like there's just not enough time. And my health's getting worse. And poverty's getting worse. It's just like, what's going on here? Like, how can God use me? How can I go to seminary like this? I can't. I need surgery. How can I be a husband like this? I can't provide for my family. How can I get a good job like this? I can't. So my hands are tied. I'm trapped, and it's like I'm just waiting. I mean, if something happens to Donna, I could end up on the street. Like, this is not a good place to be in life, and we're not supposed to worry, and we're supposed to trust, and this and that, but I can't help it. I have good reason. I've been through so much hell already, and it's always having to wait for the other shoe to drop now, I'm surprised I've survived this long, only by God's grace, and, I don't want Him to be upset with me and then not bless me. Hold on, I gotta plug in my phone, and take the blessings away, and not bless me, or, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know I feel like I've lost all hope. Like, I feel like discouraged and hopeless. Like, there's not going to be God's not going to do anything big with my life. I'll never be a priest. I'll never get married. I'll never have a good career. I don't know, amount to much. I feel like all these people lied to me all these years, all these different prophets and priests and all these words from the Lord. Then why isn't it happening by now? I don't know. People keep saying God's got big plans for you, Steve. God's got big plans for you, Steve. What? What big plans? What am I doing that's so grandiose for Him? Nothing. I mean, it's sad that I do more for God, or I try to do more for God than the average Catholic, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I look around and there's just too many people suffering. I'm only one person. I don't have enough resources to do much. I don't have money. I can't really do much for people. Sometimes I give people food or water. That's all I have. Or give them a little bit of money that I have left. Like, I don't have anything myself. So how can I help others if I don't have anything to help them with? You know what I mean? I can't even help myself. I depend on charity from others. And it hasn't been coming in the past 2 years. Like, 2020, 2021, a little bit of 2022, people felt bad for me. They sent me cards in the mail. I got Christmas presents. I got birthday cards. I got whatever. And there was money. People would give me money at church. People would send me money into my P.O. box. I didn't even have to ask. I needed it, but I didn't have to ask. I would just pray to the Lord, and it would come. But for the past year, nothing. I didn't even get any birthday cards this year from anybody. Like, I got a bunch of happy birthdays on Facebook, but I didn't get nothing in the mail. One person sent me this book, but she told me she was going to. But that was it. Like, I didn't get really anything from anybody. That people normally send me cards and with money in it and stuff like that, or at least a birthday card. Nothing this year. Nothing. So yeah, I was a little upset and sad because I was kind of hoping that I would be okay and that I would get some money or that something good would happen, or at least get a birthday card or something, but nothing. And I don't want it now. It's too late. I shouldn't have to ask, Um, but I depend on those things, those little small blessings, and bills keep coming in. Now I have to get this stupid car, which I don't understand why this is happening again, because I could have sworn when I bought the thing last year, or in 2020, was it 2022? I think I got it. It already went through emissions, so why is my car due for emissions again in April? I don't understand. I just did this when we got the car. So, and I only had the car for about maybe a year or so. So I don't understand why I have... I'm so aggravated. I feel like it's one thing after another, one bill after another, one more thing I have to do after another. Now I gotta pay for emissions, and I gotta get the taxes done, and hopefully I'll get money back. Last year I didn't get anything back, and I needed it, and I always look forward to my tax return because I need it for my bills. I need it to survive. It's not enough, but it helps. A couple $100 helps, and I didn't get anything last year. And so I'm hoping I'm going to get something this year, because otherwise I don't know how I'm going to survive this year. The cost of living keeps going up and my paycheck is not going up. So, I don't know. Meanwhile, it's getting harder and harder to go to work feeling sick all the time. So, sometimes you just wish for death. But I don't want to wish for that because I'm not ready. I don't want to end up in hell or purgatory for too long, and I guarantee I'm going to go to purgatory. If I don't end up in hell, then I'm going to have to do some serious time in purgatory, that's for sure. I know that, and I'm not looking forward to it. So, I don't know. I just wish for a miracle. I wish God would make it clear what He wants me to do. He used to make things happen so clear. Like, I used to pray and things would just happen. But lately, I guess I'm not in His good graces anymore. I do keep falling into various sins all of a sudden. I don't know. It's a weird feeling of sloth and depression and malaise and coldness and indifference to prayer, and just, it's not a good place to be. Ever since 2020, I've not been the same. For the past 25 years, I've been working hard at holiness and trying to be a saint and a preacher and a priest and all that. And then finally I go to seminary, and within 6 months, all the things that happened to me, I have not recovered from. And I cannot get my prayer life back. I can't get my zeal back. I don't feel a connection to God like I had before. I'm not walking in miracles all the time like I did before. Something's very wrong. And I hope that God's not mad at me for leaving seminary and not staying and trusting Him and sticking it out and fighting any longer. I left after 6 months. So, I might have thrown in the towel too soon. I don't know. But I just really feel like the Lord's upset with me, and I don't know. I have this feeling of foreboding. I have this feeling like things are happening. Things are coming. Something's coming. And we're not ready. I'm not ready. And it's giving me anxiety because I feel like I know something. I know that gut feeling. That bad feeling. And there's nothing I could do about it. I don't know. What will be, will be. I mean, it's in God's hands. I'm in God's hands. That's the point. We have to, as Christians, it's not gonna, our life is not gonna be easy down here. We have to unite in fellowship, and we have to pray, and we have to really press in. It's every man for themselves. We have to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. We have to get this right. We are called to be different than the world. We have to be different. You know, we should really, really be getting rid of any connection to this world, and that's not holy. That if Jesus wouldn't watch it, we shouldn't watch it. If he wouldn't look at it or listen to it, we shouldn't look at it or listen to it. If he wouldn't eat it, we shouldn't eat it, you know? If he wouldn't go somewhere, we shouldn't go somewhere. Like, we literally have to do that. Like, we have to start being very, very serious Christians now, because he could return, the end of the world can happen, we could be killed, and we're not going to make it to heaven. We've got to remember that few make it, so we have to be among the few and the brave. So please, please pioneer and press in and encourage and build up and enable each other to, you know, stand firm in Christ and literally be holy people. We have to. We have to work on holiness, virtues. We have to. We're not going to make it. And all of this is for nothing if we don't make it. And I don't want to go to hell with the rest of this hellbound world. You know, I want to go to heaven. So let's make sure that we, you know, failure is not an option, folks. And I really feel, I hope I'm wrong, I'm not a prophet, but I really feel like bad things are coming, especially to America very soon, starting this year. And I think things are going to ramp up. And so I don't understand why there's so many, you know, evangelists out there and prophets and stuff saying, oh, everything's going to be wonderful this year and all these great things are going to happen. Because that's not what the Catholic prophets and seers are saying. That's not what the Bible says. That's not what I'm seeing. That's not what I'm getting. So where's this coming from? You know, so now we have a big schism, a big divide between people like me who are gloom and doom and it's the end of the world and bad things are happening and bad things are going to happen and God's going to punish. And then you got the other people saying, oh, God's giving us more time. Well, it's not really the end. It's just the beginning of a new, good and better era. And God's going to bless us and things are good. Great things are coming this year. And it's like, it can't be, they can't both be true. It's going to be one or the other. Use common sense. Look at what's going on all over the world. How can you think that God's going to be happy and bless us and give us more time? No, I think it's quite the opposite. I think he's very upset and he's shortening the days and that things are about to get real bad. So please make sure that we're always ready for death and that we're ready to be judged, because otherwise, you know, repent, go to confession, you know, please live a holy life, because you never know when your number's going to be up. You might not even wake up tomorrow, you know, so you got one shot at this and then eternity begins. And eternity is a long time to be burning in hell. So please make sure you make it to heaven and help others get there too. Help us. We need to help each other to stay in the game. And even though this is not a game, this is war. So we need to make sure that we help each other stay in the fight. God bless. Viva Cristo Rey.